Hey guys, it's Will. Hopefully you're having a great day today. In this video, we're going to go over BigBear AI as they've been volatile recently, and they've had some sell-offs, but it wasn't just them today. We're covering the NVIDIA earnings today. They came in good, but we see a lot of AI companies sell off. You saw Robinhood was down 5.5%, Palantir was down about 3.67%, Tesla was down as well, along with NVIDIA after hours. We saw them sell off quite a bit, about 3%, 3.5%. And so what we're looking at now is Big Bear AI. We're watching this trend here over the last couple of days. Now, Big Bear AI, from a market perspective, is in AI. They are in a large language model company, and they work specifically with TSA. They're working with direct to companies in the Department of Defense. They work with Army. They work with Delta Airlines, and you can actually see that they have a lot of the things that the TSA is looking for in this upcoming contract. And there was an interesting piece of information that one of our members in our community shared with us. And the piece of information was that the director of TSA was previously working at Big Bear, or had previously worked at Pangiam, which was a company acquired by Big Bear, as like the vice president. And so there is this new TSA contract that could be potentially worth about $5.4 billion dollars in total ahead of the World Cup and the Olympics. And the main focus they have here is focusing on reduced reliance on manual labor, AI driven threat detection. So having biometrics as well as AI and machine learning threat detection for carry-on and checked bags, but also advanced accessible property body scanning, alarm resolution, and biometric ID verification tools. And that's exactly what they're doing over there at Big Bear. So Big Bear AI, we do see them start to sell off today. There's this greater 1 year trend. We have some long-term positions around $2 a share, and we've seen them swing as high as $10 and back down to $2 in the last 8 months or so. But you could see that they were at $1 a share a year ago. They're up 500% right now. So 5x on any money invested at that point. But we have seen them sell off from their earnings recently, that they came in with some not so favorable balance, or not balance sheets, but income statements. And so we saw them sell down to this $5 support. It's a strong support today. We'll see if they hold it. There's two things we're watching here. The first is overall direction from NVIDIA and the greater AI and tech market. If we see that they came in with good numbers, good record breaking sales, it was good today, but their stock still sold off because the sentiment around that they had seen some decreases in their revenue, or not as much as they were expecting to make in their data center sector for NVIDIA, was part of why I think investor sentiment sold off a little bit. But outside of that, if they continue to rebound NVIDIA tomorrow, then we could see AI stocks push up and see greater movement. But if we see let's say a correction in the market, something like that, where the investor sentiment stays negative, then this is kind of the next level for Big Bear, maybe down into that 475. That previous support there would be them breaking that $5 support. Now, if we come in with a good day tomorrow from a greater market, then they could hold this $5 support, which is key, and potentially make their way up into this $5 to $6 range. So the financials, and so that's kind of the chart. The financials look good from a balance sheet perspective, as they came in with 600 million in assets, but their income was negative. Now, one of the things that it's a little hard to digest, but on paper they looked a lot more negative than their actual negative net income. And we could go a little bit deeper on that inside of Stockmate. So Stockmate is our community here where we have just over 25 millionaires. We have the targets for the week. You can see pre-market and after hours. But one of the members in here, his name is Michael Clark, had an interesting point here where he actually shared. Let's go ahead and search it up. We'll search Michael Clark here. You could see that one of the things that he was outlining for us was that there is this analysis on Big Bear, that he had a different perspective than what most people would say. And his perspective was that on paper, they looked a lot worse. And part of that was they had a revaluation from their liabilities, an accounting adjustment to the value of warrants and options the company issued, and goodwill impairment negative 70 million, an accounting write down of value from past acquisitions, and it's a one-time charge. Something that it does show that assets now valued lower than originally thought there, which could be counted as a negative income. And in reality, they actually only came in with a loss of about 10 million, not 228 million. And so on paper, it looks pretty bad on their income there, but their balance sheet went up. And if you don't account for some of those rare things that they wrote on their sheet, we could see them have some momentum still play into Big Bear right now in their next quarter. So we'll be watching. When it comes to that potential move with the CEO, you have the CEO previously, the border customs, as well as working with some of the Homeland Security, and now he's the CEO of this company. And where they're looking to expand right now is manufacturing supply chain, but primarily with their VeriScan technology. We've seen them deploy into about 5 more airports than we expected in their last announcement. So they're in JFK, so New York, they're in Denver International Airport, they're in Los Angeles now, and Montreal, and they're in Vancouver. So a lot of growth means what? They are expanding. And what's the number one thing we look for when identifying a good market? It's going to be, can we see the real world usage right now that we could see right in front of us? And we could see them. I've gotten my face scanned personally by their VeriScan technology, so I know that they are legitimate in their digital identity management that they're doing. They have the computer vision, the true face, this VeriScan here, and that stuff is absolutely deployed, and potentially they're getting ready for this World Cup. They're trying to, see if they could be one of the top players for that TSA potential contract there. So then you got Vanguard, BlackRock, big investors to watch. So if you're looking at AI companies right now, then Big Bear is probably on your list. They have this trend that they're in. They're trying to hold that 200-day moving average right here around $5, $4 a share here. They're selling back down to it. And the best case scenario is that they hold that $5 range and are able to push up, maybe even get up into these previous levels of 24% margin for profit, around $6.30. Worst case scenario, we see a market correction kick in right around this time. They're a lower cap AI company that's still waiting for maybe rate cuts to kick in, which would be great. Maybe the market does price in and we see things do really well over the next few weeks. That's excellent. But if they don't, we don't see the market price in, then that's kind of the next sell down potentially into that $4.75 is the next support for Big Bear if they can't hold $5 a share. So we're going to keep that in mind. We're going to look at that level tomorrow morning. We were trading Serve Robotics this morning, which was a good trade where we were able to lock in a little bit over $350 profit there on Serve Robotics this morning, as they were up about 15% at one point. So that's been a nice one to trade this morning. If you guys ever want to join the daily live trading sessions in StockMate, I share with you my long-term positions as well as our short-term buy and sell entries and exits, but more importantly, why we trade what we trade, how we go through the analysis, the margins for profit, and everything else. When it comes to StockMate, you get the targets for the week for all these companies, including the different after hours or pre-market reportings that happen every week for every company that's reporting earnings. And on top of that, you get a free t-shirt we'll send to you anywhere in the world. So if you want a reminder for our daily live trading tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, we'd love to see you there at Market Open. It's the second link again. Thanks so much for joining. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button to consider subscribing. See you guys in the next video.